Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've brought to you a new video. This is related to one of the most important services onto the Linux operating system, that is Cron. I'll be discussing about Cron. Before we move ahead, if you have not seen my previous videos related to the Linux basics commands as well as some advanced commands, I have shared the videos on my channel. Please have a look at those videos. That will help you understand this session much better. So let's begin. So what is a cron? In Linux, in interviews, there may be a question which will be asked to you, how do you automate tasks? In simple words, if I have to execute a particular script, a program every day in the morning at 9 a.m., will it be possible? Yes, it will be, but it will be difficult. Why? Because it will require 100% manual intervention. Now, let's say, how about automating this execution of this script or the program every day at 9 a.m. automatically? That helps ease the task, that helps save time as well as human errors. So whenever we have to schedule a particular job, a task, we want to schedule the execution of a particular program regularly at a regular time interval in the Linux operating system, we make use of cron and cron schedulers. So what is cron? In simple words, it's a time-based job scheduler. So whenever you schedule a particular job with respect to time for execution on a specific time, you make use of cron. So how does cron help us? It helps run commands and scripts automatically. So whenever you want to run a particular script, a command, a program, or automate a particular task at a regular interval, in the Linux operating system, you're going to make use of cron. So this is very important. The purpose must be clear. When do we make use of cron? It is used to automate the task. It is used to make the task repetitive. Let's go ahead. Now, one important term when it comes to discussion with cron is Crontab. What is Crontab? We know what is cron, that it's a service which is going to run in the background, which is going to automate tasks. Now, what is Crontab? Define a syntax where the job is going to be defined with respect to its execution of time. We are going to schedule the execution. If I say I want the job to execute automatically at a specific time, somewhere you have to specify the time, right? So that time as well as that path, the name of the file or the program, everything is mentioned in the cron tab. The syntax which is used to execute the cron in the cron tab file. So for that purpose, we have 5 stars. From left to right, the first star, sorry, from left to right, for the first star stands for the minutes, like from 0 to 59. Second star out here stands for hours, 0 to 23. Third star stands for the month, from 1 to 31. And the fourth star is going to stand for month from January to December, followed by the last star on the right hand side, which stands for the day of the week. Like when you want the job to execute every Sunday, every Saturday, every Monday, that is going to be decided by this number 0 to 7, where Sunday is going to be 0 and Saturday is going to be 7. So let's continue. Now let's consider a simple example with respect to the cron scheduler. Let's say if it is 5 stars continuously, the job is going to run every minute. If the first digit is 0 followed by the stars, the 4 stars, it's going to execute every hour, because here the second star, which I said, the second star out here, the second star here is actually for hours. So I want it every hour. That is why I mentioned 0. Now let's say I want the job to execute every hour, let's say at 2 a.m. in every day at 2 a.m. In that case, what we'll be doing is I'll be mentioning this digit 2. I'll be mentioning this digit 2. That will help me execute my job every day at 2 a.m. Followed, let's say I want the job to be executed every day at 2 a.m. but only on Mondays. So in that case, what I'll be doing is I'll be changing the last star to 1, because 0 stands for Sunday and 1 is going to be Monday. That is why I'll be mentioning here 1. So every Monday, my job is going to be executed at 2 a.m. So this helps you, actually, when you want to schedule the job with respect to time, like month or week or hour of the day, so that helps you understand, and that this will help you frame the execution of your cron job. Let's go ahead. When it comes to cron, which all are the basic commands which we use? There are only three commands which we'll be using today as well. That is crontab-e, that will help you edit a cron, then followed by crontab-l, that will help you list the jobs, and finally, if you want to delete the job, you'll be using crontab-r. And the use cases, I'll be discussing these use cases at the end of the session. So what we'll do now is we'll move to the practical session. I'll show you how a cron is supposed to be set. For that, what I've done is I've actually launched a EC2 instance. So I'll connect to this. This is a EC2 instance, a virtual machine on the AWS platform. I'll be using that. Now, in the first place, let's say I want to check whether how many crons are being scheduled on my system. For that, the command which we are supposed to use is crontab-l. Let's first see, and it's always a good practice to actually see how many crons are there, how many cron jobs are actually scheduled on the system. For that, I'll be using crontab-l. Let's see what happens. So it's telling me that, cron tab, such a kind of command is already, it's not there, it's not found. Why? Because there is no package related to, cron, which is which I have, installed. For that case, I'll first have to install the package. I'll say yum install crony, and here we go. This is the package which helps you execute cron jobs. So first and foremost, install this yum install crony. It will ask me for prompt. Let's see. It started. It's asking me whether it's a download or not. I say yes, why, and it started the execution. Now I'll just clear this so that the screen looks clear and tidy. Now I want to check the status of my crondy service. For that, I'll be making use of systemctl status crond. Let's see what happens. It's telling me that it's inactive and dead. Why? Because I have not restarted it. I'll just press the top arrow to bring the last command once again, and I will enable this first. And after I enable this, again top arrow to bring the last hit command. I'll use restart. Hope this works now. And now I'll check the status. I'm using the top arrow button to recall the previously fired commands. Status. Now you can see that the service is active and running. So now I'll just enter Control C to enter into the terminal. I'll clear this, and now let's begin with the execution of cron and scheduling of the cron job. Again, let's check how many cron are already scheduled on my system. Now this should work. It's working, but it's telling me that no cron tab for the root. That is, no cron job is set onto the system. Now our first task is to schedule a cron job here. Schedule a cron here. For that, what I'll be doing is I'll be making use of the first command here, that is crontab-e. That will edit a cron, that will make a cron. So let's do that. Crontab-e. As simple as that. I'm now into the VM editor. I'm now into the editor mode. Sorry, I'll be pressing I to go into the edit mode. And now I want the cron to my cron job to run every minute. I want it to run every minute. For that, what I'll be doing is I'll be making use of 5 stars. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As simple as that. Now, whatever commands which we execute on the Linux system are retrieved from the bin directory. For that case, I'll be making use of bin. I'll be mentioning bin in this case, and I want to echo. Very simple command will be using echo. What do I want to echo? Echo means print. I'll want to print on my system. I am on AWS cloud. Let's keep this simple. I want this to be executed and the output. I want to append this to, I'll mention the directory, the path where I want to, retrieve this output, append this output. In my case, it will be EC2 dash user. It can be anything in your case. And in the meanwhile, I also want to create a file. In that file, I want to save this output. That is, I am on AWS cloud. For that, I'll just name this file sample.txt. So what I have done is very simple. Scheduled a cron 5 stars that will help me execute this echo I am on AWS cloud every minute. So every minute the system is going to type I am on AWS cloud. And where is the output going to be stored or saved? It's going to be saved into the sample.txt file that will be at home/EC2 user. Simple as that. Let's save this now. For saving this, what I will be doing is I'll be pressing first escape. Always remember in Linux, when you want to save a file, escape, colon, W key, exclamatory mark for save and safely quit. That's it. Now let's see, is any cron scheduled on my system with the command crontab -l? Yes, there is one cron now which is set, right? Where is the output going to be stored? It's going to be stored into home/EC2 user. I'll check my path PWD. Where am I? I am in home/EC2 user. But in home/EC2 user, it's going to be saved into the file sample.txt. Is sample.txt created? No, it is not created. Why? Because I have scheduled the cron for every minute. From the instant I schedule the cron, it has 1 minute has not been completed. That is why it is not being created yet, right? So we'll give some time to this. We'll give some time for this to be created. In the meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll help you understand when there's one website. There is one very interesting and a simple website which makes life easy for yeah, okay, before I go there, you can see 1 minute is completed. There is a file which is created, that is sample.txt, right? ls sample.txt is created. Now let's cat into this. What should the output be? The output should be I am on AWS cloud, right? Let's see this now. Sample.txt, and I'll be checking this. I'm getting the output as I am on AWS cloud. Now what is the cron going to do? It's going to print I am on AWS cloud every minute, and at every minute this sample.txt is going to come with a new line saying I am on AWS cloud. I'll show that to you as we go ahead. Before that, I wanted to show you one website which will help you, website which you can use to, try and, when it comes to production related jobs, production related task for, scheduling cron jobs. In that case, you can make use of this website, to actually verify that the cron tab which you have set, the editor which you have set is right or wrong. So it's telling me star 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 means it's going to execute at every minute. I want it to execute, let's say at 9 a.m. every day. Every day 9 a.m. What have I done is I've kept the minute to 0 and I've changed the hours to 9. So it's telling me it's going to be executed at 9 a.m. I want it to run at 9 a.m. only on Sunday. For that, what did I explain you previously? For Sunday, it's going to be 0. That is the last star is supposed to be, the last star here is supposed to be 0. Let's do that. And this should actually tell me that it's going to execute 9 a.m. in the morning, at 9 a.m. every Sunday. Let's see. Yeah, this will help you verify and ensure that you are scheduling the cron properly, because when you're working on production environments, it's very critical and you have to be very sure about what you are actually putting into the cron job, the cron tab entries, so that no issues arise. So this will help you, this website will help you. Let's go ahead and let's check now how many entries are there in my sample.txt file. Maybe 2 or 3 more entries should come. Yeah, here it is. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and every minute the cron is being executed. So this is the way you actually schedule a cron, and actually you retrieve the output of the cron. You can save it. I'll just share it to you. ls, I'll just cat sample.txt, and you can see again the fourth entry is also come. So this is the way you actually schedule a cron job. All right. I hope this is clear. Let's come back to the last session that I wanted to tell you was regarding, the use cases. Where do cron job, Crontab actually find the application? First and foremost, automating backups. Like whenever you are running a web server, you are running a application, logs are created. And when those logs are created, they can accumulate the file system. So it's a good practice to, move the logs. So for moving the logs manually, you can't do it every time, every day, right? So you can schedule a cron job to move the log to a particular, let's say, S3 bucket or a remote repository. So in that case, what would have happened is here, as I used, let's say, cron tab -l. This is the cron I have said. What the command which I used was echo, right? Echo means to print. I want to move the logs now. I could have made use of mv command, right? So this is how you are going to play with the system, to move the logs and automate the process using cron. So this is one thing. That's what I was telling you. Automating backups in the first place. You want to, back up a particular task. You want to back up some history logs which are there. You can make use of cron. Again, cleanup of logs. You want to move the logs to a remote repository. You can make for that purpose also you can make use of cron. Then for restarting a service, you want your web server. It's a non-prod based environment. You want the web server to run at 10 a.m. in the morning. So for that case also you can restart the service, schedule it to restart in the 9 a.m. at 10 a.m. whatever is the requirement for sending automated reports for scheduled business tasks, and for patching purpose also on small scale in the non-prod environment in standalone based servers. You can use cron based patching also. Not recommended, actually it's not recommended, but yes, it is a use case. You can schedule some packages, schedule some updates with the help of cron. So this brings us to the end of the session. I hope you must have understood the basic scenario, the basic use case, and how am I supposed to, schedule cron onto my system. If you have understood, if you have liked the video, please do subscribe to my channel and please share this video. I'll be coming with some more videos in the coming session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.